Thing is, it's not, like, Dan, I don't remember, I got pretty hot with you last meeting, but it's because I bought my house, and I didn't know it was in a floodplain, but everyone in the city knew that it was going through that, and if I knew that it was, the map was being revised and there was a chance I was gonna be in a floodplain, I would never have bought the house. So I think, is that kind of what you're hinting at, is,
Yes.
as a buyer, I felt, welcome to our city, oh, by the way, here's an extra tax, not a tax, but, you're screwed, and you just bought a house that now you can never sell, because no one in the right mind would buy a house in a floodplain. So I felt really, I don't know what the.
As a
Yeah.
point of clarification to that, though, I guess, just the feeling in this room, what do you expect the remedy to be? Obviously, title insurance doesn't look at that.
I expected someone to tell me, by the way, that.
Well, but you're only dealing with the realtor. When in the buying process did you ever come to City Hall and ask?
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's the problem.
It's a problem, that's what I'm saying. So
Well, the realtor more than likely is gonna shield you from that, because they have a job to sell a property.
So how does the city solve that problem?
Well, we can't put a sign on their property saying, beware, this is in a floodplain. We may be looking at liability on that end.
But
That is a
I'd rather
problem.
have the city be liable than the property owner in the city.
Well,
You know
sure,
what I
we
mean?
have
Who's
we have a, a commitment to all of the taxpayers, and the bottom line is, realistically, it'd be one thing to go to City Hall in any place that you're going to buy a home and say, hey, I'm looking at this property, are there any problems with it? And hindsight is 20/20 in every situation. But does any community have any sort of trigger or process in which we would go to houses before people would even come to us in regards to those properties? Just name the community in the trigger process.
I guess if we go back deeper, who okayed to develop land that they knew would be
Yeah.
underwater?
But it was okay to develop way before these maps were done. That's the point.
It was an after the fact thing.
Someone knew, and then, but the point is, and you admitted this, like, the city said to me, well, there was a public meeting saying that the maps were being redrawn in 2006, or whatever it was, but I bought my house in 2007, so why would I attend to a meeting when I,
Didn't live here.
didn't live here?
Right.
And when I bought, like I said, when I bought my house, if I knew it had been in a floodplain, I wouldn't have bought it, I would have gone somewhere else, and that's what, if I were to go, I'm not planning on moving, but if I were to go to move, I would feel obligated that the buyer should know, hey, that's where it is. Somewhere along the line, the buyer, they should know that.
It would
And
be
I don't know
nice.
whose responsibility it is, but we should look into that the buyer should know that.
It's gonna be an incomplete answer, not as much as an answer as you're ideally pushing for. If the city is contacted by a buyer, by a realtor, and we do get a few phone calls, we'll answer questions such as, what is the zoning of this property, what are the allowed land uses, is a residence allowed here? Or questions such as, is it in a floodplain, is there an elevation certificate on file for a property in a floodplain? It may not be required questions in a